going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream, Wednesday, May 27th. S&P futures up 9, NASDAQ up 135, Russell up 9, Dow up 27. NASDAQ is the strongest, up a little under 0.5%. Gold down 2%, silver down 3, notes and bonds a little bit green, 10-year yield down a little less than 0.5%. Oil falling back below $90 a barrel. It's down 4.5%. Natural gas up 1.5%. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all red. Euro and the pound barely green. Bitcoin down 1%, and the VIX is down 0.5%. Currently at 16.92. MU up another 7%. No big deal. Part of the Trilly Club now. MU's part of the $1 trillion market cap club. TSM's also up 4%. S&DK up another 3%. Tesla's up 2, AVGO up 2. PDD had earnings this morning. It's down 7.5%. CrowdStrike is down 4%. Some of the quantum names are red this morning. IONQ, QBTS, RGTI. Cryptos are red. MSTR and Coinbase down about 1.5 to 2%. Circle down 1. Bitcoin falling. Did have a little spike here pre-market, and that's been all taken back in the S&P. Some of these chip stocks had a little bit of a pop pre-market and are kind of rolling over a bit as well. SMH, MU, AMD, AVGO. VIX contracting, so no 1DTE iron Condor for me. I do want to put on a 912 DTE double calendar. Would be my first DC I'm looking at. I've got that June 9-10 I held half of overnight, so I've still got half that, and then I've still got half my number 159, which is a June 5-8, which is the 912 now, so I'd be basically layering in that same expiration, different strikes. SPX expected range today just under 32. Opening bell coming now. S&P coming down, touching unchanged right at the bell. going to get my double calendar modeled up right quick before I need to focus on the day trades. Check that I don't have any duplicate strike or conflicting strike issues. No, no, no. No, no, no. Okay, good to go there. All right, just got filled on my 912, so let me get that posted. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for the day. S&P dipped into the red a little bit. NASDAQ dipped down to previous day high. Chip stocks pulling back a little bit. Nvidia dropping through yesterday's lows. Apple surging. Google pushed up to previous day high, kind of getting rejected a little bit. See if the S&P can stay green and the NASDAQ and the Russell can hold previous day high here. Yeah, SMH coming down hard. It was over 620 pre-market. Now it's down to 605. Kind of feels like a little bit of a take profit day, maybe. Buyers might be a little tired. Intel's in the red. Cryptos are trying to bounce. Tezzy, nice push above pre-market highs. I'm going to load up some Tesla calls. Putting some Tesla calls on watch. I'll use the 2-day options and the 450 calls. See Tesla popped above pre-market high twice, but no hold yet. It's kind of rejecting. S&P and NASDAQ still coming down. S&P's at unchanged. NASDAQ is close. Russell's now in the red. Apple staying strong. A big rejection out of Tesla so far. Meta's trying to stay strong, trying to go green. Same with Google. The chip's coming down. AMD's red, SNDK's red, MU dropping below previous day high, SMH is red. Netflix is going green. Google strong. Google, I will load up some calls on the 2-day options. 2-day options, 395 calls. I just used the risk graph on Flux this morning. I can't deal with it right now, though, because I'm going to be focused on day trades, but I just used it to enter a trade. Copied over to TOS. Google pushing. Google will pull back to previous day high here, which is pretty close to pre-market highs. Watching Goog. Watching Goog for a hold here. S&P, NASDAQ still dropping. Apple's pushing up to new highs. All right, we'll see if Google can reclaim. It's dipping a little bit now. MU's holding previous day high. That may not be a bad entry on MU. Those options are a little pricey. So depending on your position size, maybe out of your range, but you know, at the money 2-day options in MU $37. So 3,700 at one lot. All right, Google. Watching Google. Google, not to be confused with Goog. I'm going to take Google right here at pre-market high, pushing back up, filled at 205. That's on the 395 calls. Close them at 235. Actually, I'll raise that a little bit. Let's go 240. Below highs of day. Try to get out of some. Apple keeps topping out around that 311 area. Netflix is pushing.
Autofilled.
Tesla pushed below lows.
Autofilled.
S&P, NASDAQ, Russell still going lower. Need a little help from the indices for Google. Chips driving things lower. SMH is still dropping. Nvidia weak. Tesla showing weakness now. Intel's down almost 5%. Seeing a chip dip today, my friends.
Autofilled.
Good old-fashioned chip dip. You may be used to the chip rip. Today you're getting the chip dip. No follow through out of Google yet. It's trying to fight off the weak. Trying to fight off the weakness. Netflix pulling back a little bit. Now Nvidia's trying to bounce. Google is not holding. So I'm going to be ready to cut Google if it doesn't snap back up. Indices, NASDAQ still printing new lows, Russell new lows, S&P's trying to bounce a little bit. Apple's trying to bounce a bit, so is Amazon. Tesla going through lows. A lot of chip stocks going through lows. AMD, MU, SNDK, SMH, ARM, SMCI. AVGO is coming down, but definitely less weak than some of the other names. Netflix bid, getting bid back up. Google's hanging in there through this flush. Amazon getting some decent bounces now. Microsoft pushing through previous day low. Meta trying to go green again. All right, Google, a little bit of a bounce. See if we can get some momentum through highs of day. Seen a little bit of decay on these options. I'm going to move my first profit target down to 235. I'd like to get some off before highs of day here. Netflix pulling back now. MU dipped but popped right back up above previous day high. Watson, are you back on the MU train today? Surprised you're not trying to short it. Oh, you're currently short. Okay, there you go. Amazon's trying to make a move. Microsoft rejecting. These indices not bouncing. Meta rejected, going green again for the fourth time. All right, Google trying again. And got pushed back down again. Having a little struggles with that previous day high as Google. Not getting much help from its friends.
Order cancelled. Autofilled.
MU starting to bounce. AMD, a little bit of a bounce. SMH trying to bounce. Cryptos are choppy. Big banks are weak. All three big banks in the red. NVIDIA trying to get back up to previous day low again. S&P pushing up to this pre-market low, technically overnight low range. Well, not the overnight low, but the overnight swing point here. Let's see if it can get back above that or if it's going to reject. Google still just kind of chopping, but it's back above previous day high. I'm going to load up some SPY puts here. SPY 0 DTE. I'm going to go with the 748s. If it starts to reject this level, this 750.25 basically. Watching SPY. I'm going to go ahead and take SPY. Those are the 748 puts filled at 80 cents. Google's still just chopping, can't hold. Don't really like being long Google and short SPY at the same time, but Google's been holding. I mean, Google's kind of just choppy. It's just had that initial bounce. S&P's been weak since about an hour before the market opened. Apple pushing through highs of day. Hondo, you an Apple? Atta boy. All right, let's see if we can get a pop in Google and a drop in SPY simultaneously. IWM pushing back up above previous day high, back in the green. Man, Google just can't quite hold above that previous day high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, every single 5-minute bar, it's tried to push above the previous day high and has not been able to hold by the close of that 5-minute bar. Everything a little choppy now, except for Apple. Tesla's trying to bounce. Nvidia ticked a new low. All right, Google's trying to make another push. Still got my order in Google at 235 and it just filled. Watching SPY in case I need to cut it. There's a new high in Google. I would take off some more Google at 275. All right, got to watch SPY here. Gosh, I kind of want to add to SPY at this pre-market low. Filled in Google at 275. Yeah, I'm gonna hold SPY. I'm gonna add to it here at this pre-market low. That was kind of the original level I was looking at pre-market. All right, I'm going to add to SPY here at 45 cents. Russell's moving. NASDAQ's starting to bounce, so I got to be quick to cut SPY here if it continues to push. Nice popping goog. NASDAQ bounce isn't as aggressive as SPY or IWM. Amazon pushing through highs. So is Apple. Decent bounce in Tesla. Nvidia is not bouncing. I will take off some more Google at 350. Let's make it 330. See if I can get out of some more. SPY's still bouncing. Tesla rejecting around pre-market lows. So in SPY, I've got a profit target of 60 cents to close those ads that I bought at 45. Google, a little pause. Apple, Amazon, little pause. Big banks staying weak. MU's trying to hold above previous day high. AVGO is just choppy. SMH is staying red, so is AMD.
Order filled. Order cancelled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled.
Google staying strong. S&P kind of just paused at that pre-market level. Need a decent pullback here. All right, now it's starting to come back. All right, filled at 60 cents, so closed out that ad. My next order in SPY is at 78 cents. Goog's starting to pull back a little bit. Nvidia at lows. Tesla coming back towards lows. S&P, NASDAQ dipping. S&P right at unchanged. NASDAQ is a little bit red and the Russell is a little bit green. Bitcoin starting to dip again. Goog's still pulling back. I don't want to give up too much here. Back down to my first profit target. Could easily pull back to that previous day high and hold and give us more, but do I want to hold that long and give up the profit? That's the question. Amazon's starting to bounce. Be back in 1 minute. SPY not wanting to break below that overnight low where I first entered. Definitely a nice reaction off that other pre-market level where I added. Googs dip trying to get bought up. Apple back up to highs. MU back to previous day high. Chips coming down though. Russell's dip getting bought up. PLTR was weak early. It's now bouncing above highs of day, back into its pre-market range. NASDAQ definitely staying a little weaker. Not really much of a bounce out of the Qs. NVIDIA still at lows of day. Very little bounce out of NVIDIA. All right, SPY coming back up to test that level again. I'll cut my remaining SPY if it doesn't reject here. All right, I'm going to try and add again here in SPY at this level, see if we can get a rejection. If not, I'll cut it quickly. Filled at 40 cents. These chip stocks just are looking like they want to move lower, which would drag SPY down. Meanwhile, Google is trying to bounce again. Amazon ticked a new high. Nvidia is going through lows.
Order filled. Order cancelled. Order partially filled.
Google almost back up to high, almost back up to highs of day. I still have an order at 350 to take some more Google off. 330, I'm sorry. Meta is pushing. Amazon's pushing new highs. Google just made a new high. Netflix almost to highs. But chips are not bouncing. All right, SPY's starting to dip. I'll take that ad off at 65 cents. Let's make it. Let's make it 60. Yeah, that's right, Watson. Monster sell-off, up 2%. Oh, it's coming. It'll come one of these days. PLTR is still marching higher. It's still down 1% from the gap, but SMH about to go through lows. AVGO's pushing lower. AMD, MU near lows. SMDK near lows. Google ticked highs, but didn't quite get to my profit target. Meta's pushing. Need a little more of a dip in SPY here. NASDAQ looks like it wants to come down to lows. Bitcoin starting to come back down. Stay strong, Google. Stay strong. Tesla just broke lows. SPY, nice reaction off that same level again. Now Google's dipping. Microsoft still bouncing. Try to take some of these spies off at 57. Bitcoin almost back down to lows of day. Apple kind of rolling over. Meta starting to roll over. All right, filled in SPY at 57, so closed out that ad that I got in at 40. So I know I've gotten several questions about this. So this is kind of a good example of what I'm doing when I say I'm scalping
Order
zero
filled.
DTE. I'll have a level, and as long as it kind of stays below that level, I'll keep just kind of buying puts, selling them off. Buying puts, selling them off, kind of building up that, lowering your basis, and then if you get the real move, you know, I still have kind of my core position on here. I've got an order at 78 cents to take off some more SPY. I'm gonna go ahead and just bail on Google. I'm gonna take the opinion that we're going lower here. So I'm gonna close out those runners at 254. So nice trade in Google. Now let's see if SPY can really pay us off.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
NASDAQ down to lows. SPY getting close to my 78 cents. NASDAQ just ticked through lows. Netflix is surging higher, so is Microsoft. Meta staying strong. SPY just filled 78 cents. Russell rolling over, Bitcoin about to go through lows. I'll take some more SPYs off at let's go 90 cents. Right at lows of day. NASDAQ definitely shown the most weakness, getting pulled down by the chips. Mag 7 are acting strong. Google staying strong, Amazon staying strong, Apple a little dip, but it's still strong. Meta staying strong. Microsoft is still a little bit red, but surging. MU, the mighty MU is red for the first time in 8 months, I think. Okay, so we flushed below that pre-market level that I originally entered SPY on. So we'll see what it does here. I may consider adding back in a little bit. Definitely a little profit taken in some chips today. IWM trying to stay green. Bitcoin a little flush through lows and bouncing. Got to see SPY stay red here if I'm going to stay in this position. It's right at unchanged for the day. I'm going to add here in SPY at 55 cents. And if it bounces back up above this current candle into positive territory, I've just cut it. Let's see if we get a little reaction here. Starting to. Take that ad off at 75 cents. Nice little dip coming. Whoa, there we go. There's my my ad filled at 75, and then I got out of some more at 90 cents that I had my other order at. So I've got 10 lots left. See if we can really start moving down to previous day low. It's kind of my ultimate target here. Yeah, love a good little flush when you have 0 DTE puts like that. I don't know what they spiked up to. Well, it looks like maybe, I don't know if this was where they were previously, but these puts have seen $1.15 this morning. It's kind of the high mark. No follow through yet, though. Don't think I want to add again here. I'm just going to hold what I've got, see if we get any more downside. If not, I'll cut it. Google still holding up well. Anybody still in Google? Or Amazon or Apple or Meta? Tesla's trying to bounce. Yeah, nothing wrong with closing too. I mean, all those have been pretty choppy for the last 30 plus minutes. All right, SPY needs to hold here or I'll cut my remaining. It's kind of a quick flush and recover. Tezzy getting its biggest bounce of the day. Close to it. All right, I'm going to cut my SPY and call it a day. All right, I'm out. All right, all. Two winners today. Google off previous day high or pre-market high. SPY puts below some pre-market levels. All right, that was fun. If I see anything I really am interested in, I may take one more, but doubt it. If I do, I'll post in the Day Trades channel. If not, I will chat with you all in Power Hour. Take care. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.